You don't need to like count it in or whatever. We don't need an intro. Just start talking about random stuff.
I don't know why I have my headphones on.
So I wanted the monitor, and then you're just like, we can just literally sit and talk to each other. It's like, oh right, I totally forgot that we can actually just speak to one another, and I don't need to hear a third person because Weston's dead today. No, I'm just kidding. That's horrible to say.
Very horrible.
Oh my god.
No, he is working.
He's not gonna listen to this. It's fine. He won't hear me.
That's right. His family will just tell him about it.
Do they listen to it? Oh yeah, that's right.
They support us.
They support us on Patreon.
Right.
If you like what we do here, please go to our Patreon account, patreon.com/ I don't know. I can't think of anything. The thing is if I say something, there's a decent chance that something will show up, and I don't want to be part of that.
There's a decent
rabbit
chance
hole
that this whole part of the podcast might be edited out. So.
That's true, actually. That's true.
So I guess there's more drama surrounding Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't know this. So you didn't hear it from me, but it's what it is CD Projekt Red right now is under investigation by the I don't know the name of the agency exactly, but like the Polish Consumer Protection Agency, basically. Like they're keeping a close eye on them right now because of like how many refunds they had to get done and things like that, and they're looking at potentially suing them. And they actually there was actually like a class action lawsuit against them that some company, I think it was in the U.S., put out on them like on New Year's Eve. Or I'm sorry, not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, one or the other. Because of all of the bugs and the poor launch and the misrepresentation of the game and basically how badly CDPR lied about it and everything. So it's pretty wild right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, their stock's down like 42%, I think, the last time I saw it. Yeah.
I mean, having to give that much money back with Sony taking it completely off the store and offering everybody a refund.
Yep. It's still not back up on the Sony store either.
No, it isn't. Yeah. And it's to be like with all that going down, it's kind of it may not show back up.
I know. Like I know that I like kind of got into a Cyberpunk rabbit hole a little bit earlier because like I saw a post about how the next big update is supposed to come out like the next like 10 days or something like that. And that's great and all, but most of the people that were playing it, like I think they said like 80% of the user base that was playing it when it launched is already gone. And this is because I guess everybody already beat it, and I don't know really what they're basing that off of. If it's like Steam statistics or whatever, Twitch streams and things like that, but a lot of people are already done with the game, and multiplayer's not. The multiplayer was supposed to come out this year, and then they pushed it to 2022. Assuming there is a 2022
at this point.
I mean, who knows at this point, you know? So it's pretty nuts, man.
Yeah, that is wild. You said 80% of the player base is gone is because it only really works on Stadia.
Yeah.
So the 20% left playing the game are on Stadia.
It's
That's
like
how much of the market Stadia owns. And I would be surprised if it was even that.
That's true. Well, it's either like Stadia, PS5 or Xbox X, which nobody has.
Right.
Or a $1,500 computer. That's basically the only way you're going to play it now.
Yeah, we talk about a lot about game streaming on this show, but like, why would you not like give it a try? I mean, I know Google ended their sale and all that, which Weston got his.
Oh yeah, he finally got his free controller.
Yeah, if you didn't get your free controller, you might want to reach out to Google if you got that deal. So
yeah.
But yeah, why would you not just like open your browser if you really want to play the game?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Throw it in a tab and play it on your computer just to try it out, It's just one of those things.
Absolutely. I mean, I was trying to like be objective for the first time in my life the other day and like not be such a Stadia like fanboy. Like it's ridiculous right at this point. And I actually went to the Xbox Game Pass kind of thing the other day to check it out. And man, like I was kind of underwhelmed.
Yeah.
By like the game selection they have on there. There's a couple in there that I thought were pretty swell and I would want to play, but I mean, I think they have like 150 games on there or something like that. And yeah, maybe more. I know It was at least about 150. I'd say maybe 175. But there was probably like 15 games on there that I'd be like gung ho about playing.
Gotcha. You can also buy games in that ecosystem too, right? Like
you can, yeah.
Like Stadia. You can buy
it's
like a Halo game or whatever if it's not on there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a reverse Stadia, I think, where they like encourage you to like have the Netflix subscription style thing, but you can also buy games in it. Gotcha. And they do, if you have like the Ultimate Pass, which I think is like $15 a month, you get like extra discounts and stuff. And because they have like a just PC pass and then a just Xbox pass and then the Ultimate, which you can play on both. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, I mean it's a little bit of a different direction. I'm not a huge fan of the games that they have on there, which to each their own. I mean, a lot of people aren't a huge fan of the game Stadia has, so it's just whatever.
I think it's whatever ecosystem you like to exist in, like the Microsoft, the Sony, Stadia doesn't really have any exclusives, big time exclusives yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Platform,
yeah.
But like
there's a couple good ones, but it's not like anything AAA right to write home about kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, it's just one of those things. I think it's just whatever your preference is. There's some sort of streaming out there. It's like PlayStation has their PS Now thing, which has a lot of older games and things like that. Which if you're looking for a vintage gaming, kind of the beginning of the 3D realm, kind of platform, PS Now is pretty cool. But
yeah.
But they don't put like new AAA games. They had Spider-Man on there.
Right.
They've proven that they can do it, but they only did it when people were really down in the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. So like, I don't know why they're not. Maybe they're going to do it more, in that platform, that arena soon. But I think they're just, which they've done very well at is selling consoles now. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think like part of the streaming war too is money. I mean, we talked about, like, I had read that article a few weeks ago that Amazon Luna paid $10 million to put Resident Evil 7 on Luna, which is a huge amount of money. So I mean, Sony's a massive company that's a multi-billion-dollar company. Microsoft's a multi-billion-dollar company. They have as a overarching company the money to do these things. It's just whether or not they want to invest it right now in those markets, where, like, for Google as an example, that's all, like, well, I mean, that's for Google Stadia, that's all that is. So they have to, because otherwise it's just going to die. They have to put the money into licensing massive games, or else it's just going to die. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah. Whereas those guys have discs and consoles that they can make money off of and sell, that it's not priority numero uno if they don't have massive AAA titles on day one in their streaming services. So I mean maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my take on it.
Yeah,
my 2 cents.
Which brings us to another massive kind of AAA title that was announced actually today when we're recording it on Wednesday, is a Star Wars open world game. The best part about this game is it's not developed by EA. They've done a great job with Fallen Order, but they've had some tanks with, the second Battlefront. And, I mean, I guess they did a good job with Squadrons too, but like I feel like an Assassin's Creed open world Star Wars type game can be amazing and live forever, with expansions, almost like a Fallout. Like Fallout 4 was, that's Cydia, but Bethesda, sorry.
Okay.
But
I forgive you.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree, because I guess my thing is like, Fallen Order is like, I think Fallen Order is probably, from all of the Star Wars games that I've played in my entire life that I can remember, the best one. Yeah, like by far. And
I
like,
beat it yet, but I would agree, just playing the gameplay and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, the gameplay is amazing. The graphics are fantastic. The world is fantastic. Story's solid. I wouldn't say the story's its strong suit, but it is really good. It's not the strongest aspect of it. It could have been longer, but anyways. But regardless, it's a good game. It's not completely open world, but it's fairly open world.
Right.
And but if they took that more or less and added some more inventory style RPG elements to it and kind of expanded out the the force powers, and allowed you to explore the light and dark paths and things like that. In an open world environment, I think that would be insane. Because they have, was it the Old Republic? Is the MMO, the Star Wars MMO?
And that's still going.
That's still going.
Yeah.
I actually downloaded it a couple months ago,
Really?
and it was. I mean, I don't like really MMOs anymore. It's just not. It's not fast enough for me because I have like ADD now that I've gotten older when it comes to games.
And less time to play games.
Yeah. I don't have
to grind out.
Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have 12 hours a day to spend, killing womp rats with my switchblade in Old Republic. But it is cool that the idea of an open world Star Wars game.
Yeah.
And I think the last big open world or quote unquote open world Star Wars game was KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was awesome, but it's just a traditional Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition style role-playing, turn-based role-playing game.
Right.
Which, for what it is and the time that it came out, remarkable. But I think a lot of people want more immersiveness nowadays, and if they could offer that, I'd be super down.
Yeah, and I think open world in the Star Wars world is like open galaxy, really, because I don't know how long or what the development process is like for this game.
Yeah.
But it's got to be couple years at least. I would be surprised if it comes out next summer or something like that, because to explore the planets, and I don't know what the space type situation is going to be like, if it's like warp drive to other planets, or if it's going to be like actual fly to that planet in space, kind of thing. So I'm definitely interested to see if it's like a completely new story. They haven't really put any details on it, or if it's like something connected to other stuff, kind of like Fallen Order has been, with the Order 66 and all that, and Vader coming in and just ravaging everybody. So it'll be interesting to see how all that goes, but I'm definitely excited to see how it all takes place, and if it's like, it'd be cool if it was like in the middle of kind of the Skywalker saga, but doing its own thing, so you could like actually like go to the Death Star and like those type of things that are still.
Well, and I mean, they might even do it in the new universe, which is the High Republic.
Right.
It might be something to do with that, which I think would kind of be a terrific idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it would
play up the new movies coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Play up the new movies, a comic book. I know I was reading the other day that the new comic book was getting a ton of flack because it had there's a scene where one of the Jedi like falls out of the sky, out of a jet or whatever, and a spaceship of some kind, I guess, and is trying to brace themselves on a tree, and takes their lightsaber and digs it into a tree, and it stops them. And it's just like, that's not how a lightsaber works.
It just slashes things.
Yeah, it would just cut the tree all the way through, and so it was a bit silly that whoever wrote it, and whoever drew it, and whoever edited it, and whoever sent it to press didn't know how a lightsaber works, which is depressing to say the least.
That is depressing, and I hate when that happens. That's what I really like about. I mean, we're going into one of my faves, which is these Power Ranger comics.
Oh yeah.
They've got fanboys writing. Kind of like they're teetering.
Yeah.
They know the show. They know the lore. They've watched the stuff that they're writing about.
Right.
But recently they had a one-off that was a series. They had the whole shattered grid and like the coinless dimension. It's like a different dimension of the Rangers in this like dystopian future world where they're all being attacked by outer sources and the whole thing's in peril and stuff.
Yeah.
But they had somebody who didn't know the lore or didn't really read the comics that great, and wrote different things called like the power coins, which is a big feature in the show, called them something completely different. Yeah. So that's kind of going off on a tangent, but no. I can't stand when they don't have a comic writer that knows actually what the comic is.
Absolutely.
Or at least what they're writing about. It's like, go back and just read Shattered Grid and watch Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
That's all you have to know to really do it. And you can tell the writer didn't really dig in.
That's exactly right. And that's the thing, and that's what annoyed me about this is just like it's not even like the same, it's not even like tapping into the galaxy. It's like 1,000 years in the past. So they don't really have to worry about like canonical
Right.
situations. It's just like the logic of how a lightsaber
Same.
works in that universe.
Yeah.
It's like there was another comic that they had come out with as well, that the Lizard Man race that they were featuring, the guy had his arm cut off. But that canonically in a different book, that race is supposed to be able to regenerate their limbs,
right.
and it's just gone.
Yeah.
And so it's just another
Didn't
one of those
understand
things
that.
where it's like, whoever the writer is, it's okay if they're not a Star Wars expert, but this is Disney,
Right.
and Luke, like they have more money than God
and the editors to make it right. Too,
yes, that's what I'm saying. Like all they have to do is hire a super nerd editor to fact check all this stuff before it goes to print,
right.
and they just get mocked endlessly, because it's just gonna be another fiasco of the highest order.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah. So the High Republic takes place before.
Yeah, it's like 1,000
right?
years in the past, like 1,200 years in the past before the Skywalker arc. This is like back when like the Jedi ruled the galaxy, or not ruled the galaxy, but held dominion over the whole galaxy,
right.
and held order over everything, basically. Yeah,
that's a cool idea, and that's a really cool, like you were saying, if they decide to develop the game in that realm, I think that'd be pretty cool.
No, absolutely, yeah, because that's their whole moving forward arc. They're like, they were gonna continue making movies in the current like Skywalker, like offshoots in the current Skywalker era.
Yeah.
But after the Solo movie just bombed, they were like, all right, let's go back and stop making a movie every single year, and just focus on something new, so that we won't completely alienate our entire fan base.
Yeah, and that's sad that the Skywalker movie bombed, the Solo movie, because I actually really liked it.
Really?
I mean, I think not having Harrison Ford in that role was a little weird for me.
Yeah.
But like the whole what was it was Darth Maul, the Crimson Dawn, is that what it is?
I have no clue. I honestly watched about 20 minutes of it, and I was like, I can't do it.
Well,
I stopped.
The big reveal at the end of the movie is
spoilers for a 3-year-old movie.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the whole overtone of this Crimson whatever the faction was is run by Darth Maul. And he shows up. There's like a hologram of the guy talking to Darth Maul that he actually survived.
Yeah.
That he's still alive and stuff. So but I was sad that didn't at least get a sequel or some kind of spinoff, or maybe Disney Plus is planning something with it. I know they have like Darth Maul something in the works, but
I'm sure he'll show up at some point. I mean, if he's not in the season 3 of the Mandalorian or the spoiler alert, the Boba Fett spinoff, I would be astonished.
Yeah.
I would be absolutely astonished.
Yeah, because he was really the only character they got entirely right in that first movie, especially.
I mean, he was absolutely the highlight of the first movie, and then he was a big part of the Clone Wars show
series.
too. And he took the Darksaber and helped overthrow Mandalore, and all that whole arc with Bo-Katan and everything, which we'll get more into next week when Weston's here, and we can all talk about the Mandalorian together.
Yeah, this was supposed to be our Mandalorian episode, but Weston couldn't make it today, so we are pushing it.
This is our random rant episode.
Right, exactly. So Star Wars, there's not much other information other than that Ubisoft, which is a leg up for these streaming services, since they'll get it. Amazon will get it. Stadia.
I'm sure Stadia will get it. Yeah,
because they have their channels. So they've got their licensing all set up. So it's just put the game on the platform.
Absolutely. Ubisoft Plus will have it too, which will be dope.
I made the joke, if they're all still here in 13 years when the game is made. I made that to Aaron this morning.
And then I very defensively said Stadia will still be here.
Yeah.
Because it's the best and it's unlike anything else.
I mean, I play my Stadia more than I play my PS4 now, but I just want Madden on there.
Yeah.
It's just maddening me that Madden's not on there. Me and Weston played some Madden. I'll let him talk about that next week.
Talk about how badly he got beat.
I'm not gonna kick the guy while he's down when he's not even on the episode. You know?
Yeah, that's okay. We can make fun of him. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
He won't care.
He's better than me at most games. So it was just a big W for me, which was made me feel good at least.
Mason beat me at Pokemon TCG the other day too. He felt really good. He's still bragging on that.
Oh man, that was awesome. You were like, "Oh, I just want to try out this new deck."
I just wanted to try out my deck.
I just had a plain theme deck, and I just was like, "Boom, swept." I was like, You're like, "That card's overpowered." I'm like, "I get beat with this deck all the time." So
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I like to make my own deck, man. You know,
right? Me and Weston actually played some TCG as well.
Yeah.
We had a pretty split session. It was fun.
Nice, man.
Cool.
Speaking of which, Magic the Gathering Arena, which is their PC game, is coming out January 28th for Android, which I'm hype about. It's going to be pretty intense. It requires like 4 gigs of RAM.
Really?
So basically, like, Apple, Samsung, and Pixels are like going to be the only thing that'll be able to run it.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty brutally impressive. But like I was reading the article about it. And you know, the company was saying, Wizards was saying, it's like, look, we're not gonna like sacrifice the game so that everybody can play it. It's meant to be played at a quality, and it's gonna retain its quality.
That's cool.
You know, so I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, you know, the Pokemon TCG, I wouldn't say it's like top notch quality. They haven't done much to it since they released it.
Good.
No, it's really good. It's really animated and it works really well. I mean, but like since it came out all those years ago, they haven't put much or done anything UI enhancing to it, and it's pretty stout to run even on a computer. Like every time I run on my iPad, it's fine. It kind of warms up my iPad a little bit, but like usually I can play. You know, it'll drain the battery pretty quick, but like on my computer, it like always starts the fan. Like the fan always cranks up when I'm playing that. It's like weird that these trading card games are so stout to run on the computer.
It's just
I can play like World of Warcraft on my computer and it doesn't phase it at all. When I turn on Pokemon card game, it's like everything's heating up. It's like burning. I'm like, why is my computer melting in front of me?
Pokemon Company's just like, yeah, we're not optimizing for Mac. Just not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, it's funny you were.
It's optimized for Linux, but not Mac.
Going back to the Old Republic, I went to look for it, you know, because I hadn't looked at it in a few years. The other day, and I was like, oh, let me just see if they finally put out a Mac version. I mean, they haven't given up on the game at this point, but they're just not.
I think it's like free to play, pay to win kind of thing at this stage of the game.
Right. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun to download and play for a little bit. And it's still not Mac compatible, which is sad to me.
It's been out for like 10 years at least.
That's one thing Blizzard did right with World of Warcraft. They made it Mac compatible right off the bat. Which was a huge selling point, obviously, for me. Like, like I probably would have never played the game if it wasn't. But when it was Mac compatible, it was, you know, when it came out.
That was like back when Apple came out with like was it the iMac? Like the different color, the ones with like the different color backs and stuff.
Yeah, I had the original Mac Mini that I played World of Warcraft on, and it flew on that computer.
That's awesome.
It played perfectly. Like,
I remember being super jealous because you had the big Mac Pro thing or whatever, and it was like a 32-inch screen that you were just like sitting 7 inches away from, and I'm like, this is glorious.
In my old room in the chicken house.
No, at your apartment.
Oh yeah, it's just something like I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
In my old room, I had my like bed. It was a pretty small room. But
that
I had my
was
bed
funny, though,
up again in like the corner where a TV hanging on the wall. So it was like
55-inch TV.
It was like a 32-inch. It just felt bigger at the time.
No, you had a big old TV, didn't you?
It was 32 inches.
Was it?
Yeah, but it just felt big in that room.
It looked bigger.
Yeah, and I would I would lay on my bed and play World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
like all night long. Good times.
That's delightful.
My laptop. I had a MacBook at that time that I hooked up to it.
That is delightful.
Oh, anyway, but card games and the Magic the Gathering. That's cool that they're coming out with that on. Yeah. Is it like a new version, or have they just never had it?
MTG?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just they just optimized it for Android finally.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like how like Hearthstone was like just on PC, and then they just did it on tablet, and then they finally did it on phone. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think playing a card game online, like I don't know how Hearthstone's done, but like for me, like I think it's smart that they're utilizing just tablets and like computers and
Yeah.
things like that, because it would be really hard for me to play Pokemon on my phone.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But on my tablet, it's super nice and cool.
Yeah.
Because I can sit there with the kids or whatever and
Yeah.
just play some cards,
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't plan on playing it on my phone at all, but
Right.
I'll definitely play it on my tablet because it's
Or you could just come play Pokemon with me. Just forget all this mess.
I do have Pokemon.
Okay, we'll play it with me.
I'll load it up right now. We'll play a match on air,
Live on the podcast.
live on the podcast.
Yeah, we need to do some of that.
Let's do this thing.
We still have to have our Blitz showdown. That's what we should have done this episode.
A Blitz showdown?
Our NFL Blitz.
I don't
showdown.
know what you're talking about. That's I'm pretty sure that's
Throwback.
from the old podcast. I don't think that carries over
Still have it.
anymore.
We're gonna do a Twitch stream. It's fine.
I don't know. I don't have Twitch.
I do. It's good. It's cool.
I have internet access. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
All right. So the other thing that's kind of coming on Friday that I'm sure we'll talk about next week is the first
WandaVision.
episode of WandaVision drops on Disney Plus.
I'm so excited.
And the more like I see of it, it's like this looks so awesome. This whole story and how it's not just like a play on I thought it was kind of be like a sitcom type situation, like the whole show.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, funny MCU funnies,
Right.
like in a dream. But no, it's actually leading up to the next Doctor Strange movie,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about it. It
Yeah.
just looks weird, and I'm
Yeah.
excited by that.
It looks weird, fun, and like intense all at the same time.
Because like when Legion was on,
Yeah.
that's probably
that's
one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
Period. And it's a real mind screw.
Yeah.
That show.
It makes you kind of crazy watching that show.
I know it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I do like that show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, WandaVision, we'll talk about that next week. It looks
Yeah.
pretty cool, and the fact that it's really playing into like what's coming for the next phase of the Marvel universe and the Avenger whatever it's going to be. If they're going to do another Avengers movie, or it's just going to be like the next 10 movies that are Spider-Man team ups or something.
I know. I'm just excited for the idea, that they're basically, it's I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, probably like 8 or something like that, 8 or 10 maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
8
Yeah.
episodes, even if they're like half hour each, which I hope that they're not. I hope they're like 40-minute, 50, 60-minute episodes. We'll see. But even if they're a half hour each, that's still 4 hours. That's 2 movies.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Because I like this, that it gives them time. It gives them room to breathe
Right.
in between story beats.
Yeah.
And it just gives the characters more time to develop, because like most of these shows, that are coming up are kind of like quote unquote side characters in the
Right.
movie, or in the MCU, I should say. And so giving them time to really develop the characters now on these shows and have fun with them and
Right.
do weird different stuff with them really just allows them to just go into Avengers movies
Right.
and not worry about it.
Exactly. There's no build up. You're like,
Yes.
if I
We
don't
don't
know.
need 12 years
She-Hulk.
of movies.
Yeah, if She-Hulk's going to show up in
Yeah.
the next Avengers movie, you got a little series of her
Exactly.
on Disney Plus. You know who that is coming in. You know her backstory. You know the history, where she is at this point in time, and
Yes.
things like that. Like you said, they can really focus on the plot of the movie, which
Yes.
they've done very well anyway. But
Yeah.
like, I think it's cool. This whole, all
Absolutely.
these shows coming are going to be super cool.
Really excited. After playing the Avengers game, I'm really excited for the Miss Marvel show.
Yeah,
Kamala.
that in the Hawkeye show with Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I'm actually I'm really happy too that they got Kamala Harris, our new vice president, to play Kamala.
You were just wanting to make that.
I
joke.
really was wanting to. That whole thing was just lead up into that joke.
Gotcha.
Thank you for humoring me on that one.
Speaking
Speaking of the MCU,
You're not really excited for that show at all.
I
don't
could
really
not-
care at all.
I could not care in the slightest amount. No, I actually do really want to watch it
Yeah.
because I liked her character a lot, and I hope that because I hadn't read any, Miss Marvel comics or anything like that. So the character in the game was really fun for me, and I liked her and her persona a lot. And I kind of hope that they carry that over into the show. She's like a young female version of Tony Stark. I feel like almost
Right.
to a certain extent, just like the snarkiness and everything.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool, and I can't remember who they've cast to play her, but I think it's going to be pretty good.
A young, snarky female.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, but I like the way the MCU is going because it's WandaVision. There's a week in between. Then there's Falcon and Winter Soldier dropping.
Are you sure about that? Because I haven't heard anything.
It's in March. Yeah, there's a whole trailer out and everything for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a date like set. So
you said in March?
Yeah.
That it's coming out.
Yeah. So we're at the end of January. They're going to go 8 episodes, which is 2 months. Mid-March, like the 16th or 17th. Then Falcon and Winter Soldier's dropping, and then right after that is the Loki 6-episode series.
When you said it comes out right after WandaVision, I thought you meant like the next week. Yeah, simultaneously. I thought you meant like
no, WandaVision will finish.
Yeah,
and
I got you.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That makes more sense because I'm like I haven't seen a thing about it coming out, so I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to clarify. That's cool though.
Yeah.
But that is nice because, like I said, that or like you said, it's just kind of keeping everything continual and synchronized together.
Especially in a year where we haven't had much MCU at all.
Yeah.
Like this calendar year so far. Mm-hmm. Like not 2020, just from now this time last year, we haven't had any MCU really, honestly. So it'll be cool to kind of get that fired back up again and get people more excited for like the Doctor Strange movie coming out later in the year and all that stuff too. So
absolutely. One quick deviation and then back to the MCU really quick. But speaking of shows in production, right now the new Lord of the Rings TV show is in production in New Zealand, which I'm really happy about. That's going to premiere on Amazon.
That's cool.
I think next year. But I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Is it like
it's the Second Age?
Okay. It's like a different story.
It is, yeah. So The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings are the third age. Of man, and so this is going to take place in the Second Age. So it's I think I don't remember how many years it is. In the past. A long time, a very long time in the past. Somewhere between 100 and 1,000.
I like that research.
Yeah, I don't remember how it's been. It's yeah. I was trying to do Star Wars research, so having to keep track of thousands of years, and then my biblical research, for the theology podcast and everything.
Yeah. But which has been we prepared this episode just to do Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, let's talk about some stuff. There's some news this week.
I am going to talk for the next 45 minutes about how Gandalf is Jesus.
Okay. So save that for the actual theology.
For the actual theology. Okay. All right. That's fine.
We're good.
When Gandalf says, I am Gandalf and Gandalf is me, it is the equivalent of when Jesus says, I am the Word. Anyways, but that's the thing. So we'll talk about that a different time. But back to the MCU, they finally announced Deadpool 3.
Right.
Which I'm happy about. The thing is, I think it's funny is that all of the news surrounding it is about how Disney's making a rated R movie and how extraordinary that is. And I looked it up. Disney's made over 70 rated R movies.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Not by their name, and this doesn't have the Disney name on it. It's Marvel Studios, but Marvel Studios already has 2 rated R franchises. They have Punisher franchise and they have the Blade franchise. Right. And then if you really want to get in the weeds, the shows on Netflix weren't exactly kid friendly.
Yeah, and that took place in the MCU, but I think the point of it was it's the first MCU rated R movie that they're going to have. Because Deadpool is officially, I think the biggest news out of it was Deadpool is officially joining the MCU.
Part of the MCU. Yeah. I suppose that's fair.
Which I'm kind of like, I think that's kind of cool that they haven't, like, that Fox played those cards kind of right with Deadpool by not actually making him part of, like, their X-Men universe.
Right.
So he can, like, blend in with this universe. It doesn't even matter, and I guess the multiverse kind of thing comes into play too, but
for sure. And I believe Spider-Man's supposed to be in the movie.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I made that up on the spot. I have no clue.
I don't think they would have their rights, but just because of Sony.
Probably. Yeah. It'd be cool though.
I think actually
Spider-Man was in the Iron Man was in the Spider-Man movie, so
Yeah, yeah, but they only had a deal for 3 movies.
Oh,
And I
really?
think this last one they're going to revoke the rights and put him in their universe if it's going to be Tom Holland or whatever.
That's a real bummer.
There's been
Raimi
a lot
Tammy.
of I'm sure they'll figure something out because Spider-Man's like the new Tony Stark of the MCU, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that, but
Also,
I feel like that's why they're blowing it out with everything in this next movie.
yeah.
Because just all the news coming out of it is just like all the Spider-Men in the movies and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But,
Yeah. Any man that's ever been a spider is going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right. And with the villain verse going on over at Sony with Venom and Morbius and Blade. And,
Yeah.
well, actually, I think Blade's going to be MCU, but I don't know. Anyway, they have a guy cast as Blade.
Do they have the rights to Blade?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a guy cast for it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Which
Blade, the new Blade.
Ryan Reynolds was also in Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
So he's been in 2 of the 3 rated R Marvel Studio franchises.
True. Yeah. Was Blade rated R?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I Googled it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
I only have watched them like late night on TBS. So
I have never watched them.
in my insomniac moments.
Yeah.
Like you just turn on TBS and it's like Blade 1, 2, and 3. Here we go.
Yeah. Speaking of cleaning stuff up, watch the PG-13 if you can find it. I don't even know if you can find it anymore, but the PG-13 version of Deadpool 2 is better than the original.
Yeah,
It's
I would
delightful.
watch that one. I haven't seen I haven't seen Deadpool.
You haven't
2.
seen the Deadpool 2. It's yeah, it's really funny because it's like Deadpool telling the story of it.
Yeah.
Sit with
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage in bed. Yeah. And he's like telling it like a kid's story. It's
I
delightful.
think it's still out there somewhere. I need to go get it.
Yeah, I know like they had it, I don't know, what, 2 years ago or whatever, as like a Christmas special, and I rented it and it was delightful. And yeah, so and like it went away at some point, but I'm sure you can find it out there somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty terrific.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all on the Marvel situation that I really wanted to talk about. But it's just a lot of cool things coming, and I'm definitely stoked for WandaVision. And we'll have our Mandalorian episode, but we'll definitely get our first reactions off of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we a month after everybody has wrapped up their summary of The Mandalorian, we're gonna do it too.
Hey, some people might want to hear our take on it, and we're trying to get everybody inclusive, before we just throw all the spoilers out there.
That's true. You know what? That's a good point.
We're gonna talk all the spoilers, and we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. So if you haven't watched Mandalorian, go watch it.
Go watch it. Get your 7-day. I watched the entire series in a day.
Yeah.
You can. It's very, very easy to do, and it's fun, and it's worth it, and it's delightful. And if you like westerns and you like Star Wars, you'll love it.
Yeah.
And especially if you like the Clone Wars, I think you'll love it too.
I don't like those things. I'm just kidding.
I know you.
Yeah, it was really funny and jarring to see the Mandalorian, the actor who plays him, show up in the Wonder Woman movie, and he plays such a different character.
I know.
Like
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like sitting there with my wife. She's like, "Who is that?" I was like, "That's the Mandalorian."
Yeah. It is Pedro Pascal, right?
I don't know.
Okay. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
That might be a different actor.
Yeah.
That might have been the guy that was in the canonical Star Wars movies. That's gonna bother me. Hey Bigsby, who played the Mandalorian? Oh right, I forgot. You're useless, Bigsby. Never mind. Hashtag Samsung for the win. God. It's the most useless. Google
Pedro Pascal.
It is Pedro Pascal. Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap this episode up.
I think
we
we're
just
done.
wanted to do a little mini in between. I think we just need to give our recommendations.
Yeah.
And I've actually got one this week, so
I'll give a recce this week.
Unless you want to start.
I'll give a little recce decky. Okay. What do you want? You want me to start? Or you want to start?
I'll do it.
Rock paper scissors.
I'll start. No. If you are a Batman fan, and maybe you haven't seen it in a while, but HBO Max just dropped all of the animated Batman movies and Batman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been especially excited for that because I've just gone back and watched that show. I've seen it so much over the years, but I've been watching it again now that it's on. I almost bought the whole thing on iTunes, but I was like, no, and then I saw the news it was coming January 1st. I was like,
that's
yes!
awesome. I know. Yeah, I'm really happy that HBO's absorbing all of the DC stuff.
That's cool. Yeah. So anyway,
nice.
Watch the Batman the Animated Series because it's I think just the score on that show, the music is just probably the most amazing thing about it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you watch Batman Returns at all? The second one?
Yeah, I got about midway through it. Yeah.
You got to finish that.
I got to the part where Batman and spoilers.
Yeah.
Batman and Catwoman make out on his couch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, that movie is so good.
It was fun. Yeah, it was so much more adult than I remembered it being.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty dark. Like, getting to I think the last scene of the movie is like probably my most favorite scene in most any movie, because it's just like this. He's driving along in his like car.
I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil it.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
But it's kind of like iconic. Like, it's just snowing, and he gets out of the car, and this black cat crosses the road, and he picks up the black cat, and he looks around. Yeah. And, and he hears something, and it's just like the snow is coming down. It's like this solemn moment. Yeah. Every time I'm in the snow, I think about that scene in any movie, just because it's like this iconic moment, and then we never saw those characters again.
I'm going to buy a black cat and throw it in front of your car at one point.
Okay.
That sounds sadistic. I'm not gonna like yeet a cat at you or anything like that.
Okay, bro.
But I'm gonna replay that. I'm gonna make that moment happen for you.
That sounds good.
In real life.
Yeah, but get out of my limo.
just run to the middle of the road and chuck a cat at your car.
I'll have my driver Alfred pull over real quick so I can pick up the cat and have that moment. It's been snowing a lot around here recently, so I always think about that scene whenever I'm like walking down the street in the snow or something.
Oh man, I'm gonna be checking the weather regularly.
Okay,
just so we're clear.
Oh man.
So my recommendation, I'm gonna recommend two things, because I'm gonna recommend a kids show as well. We were talking about Disney.
Batman animated series is not a kids show.
Okay,
it's a kids show, but it's also an adult.
I'm gonna recommend an adult kids show.
Okay.
Because since we're talking about it, and we were talking about Disney Plus, so I've been watching the old '90s X-Men show with my kids,
right?
And it's been a blast.
So good,
because they're constantly asking questions, and it's the only time that I'm watching a TV show that I'm not annoyed by it. Because you know how normally like you're watching a TV show with your kids, and you're just like, just stop, stop. And I'm just like going through all of the X-Men lore and everything with them, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah, that show is so iconic as well.
I know.
Just the theme song.
I sit there and do that every single time. Yeah.
They had a variant Power Ranger comic book cover a couple years ago for San Diego Comic-Con that was a revisioning of that X-Men. The original title poster for the X-Men series, and it was like all the Power Ranger characters drawn in that way. And
that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, I love it.
Such a good show.
My kids really like Storm a lot.
Yeah, Storm's awesome.
My daughter's just like, I like the Lightning Girl.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And then I was also gonna recommend playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice if you like punishing yourself. It's not as bad as the Dark Souls games. But it's very difficult.
Nice.
And I think we had a podcast a while back about when Weston was talking about how, as he's gotten older, his kind of gaming reflexes have gotten slower. And I kind of made fun of him for it, but now I also really feel it playing that game. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm definitely not as good as I once was, kind of thing. But it's still a lot of fun.
That's why I'm beating you guys at games, because you guys have just gotten slower, and I've stayed the same. I've never had good gaming reflexes. So.
Mason stopped aging in 2004. He's like Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves got into the Matrix and just stopped. And Mason walked into the friend's apartment after they all left and stopped aging. So that's just where we're at.
That's the new joke on the show, apparently. Yeah, no.
Mason's immortal.
Yeah, I've been playing Madden 21 on like extra hard mode. And I lose most of the time, but when I play my friends, I like blow them out of the water. So I'm like, at least I'm getting something.
We haven't played yet though, so I gotta play you now.
Yeah, we need. Well, we played. Yeah.
We played 20 though.
Yeah, we haven't played 21.
Yeah.
Since my son accidentally bought it. My 2-year-old. I literally, on the Madden game on PlayStation, on Madden 20, I was playing that. And they have like upgrade now. One-click upgrade to Madden 21. And I already had it downloaded on my machine and everything. And I was just going to wait till the Stadia version came out to get it, because I want to play it wherever and whenever.
Sure.
And I put the controller down, and my 2-year-old son picks it up and somehow gets it to that. And then I looked later on my phone; it was like a $30 charge for the game. I was like, no.
Yeah. You know where that would have never happened?
Where?
Stadia.
Sure.
Because they don't have
can't
Madden.
buy also that. Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing Secret Neighbor on the treadmill a lot.
Oh, have you?
Now that they have the iPad Stadia, so
yeah,
I've been playing Stadia on the treadmill.
Katie was like looking on her tablet the other day for games and stuff, and she found the I can't remember the name of it now, but it's like the Hello Neighbor like mobile version.
Right.
It's got like the weird like bird creature with the bee. I can't remember the name of it. She's like, "Oh, this game looks creepy and weird." I was like, "Yeah, that's the same people that made, Hello Neighbor." And she's like, "Oh, sweet." And I guess she downloaded it and has been playing that a little bit. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I need to play some more Secret Neighbor with you.
Yeah. It's like Hello Fresh, I think it's called, something like that.
Yeah, it's that. That's it. The food service also has a creepy game.
This podcast not brought to you by the people at HelloFresh.
But if you want to sponsor us, come find us.
All right. What's our time?
It is time to end the podcast.
Are we at 13,000 seconds? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's like bars and beats.
I can't see I don't have my glasses.
Yeah, we're at 45 minutes.
I thought you just hit stop record like we're going to end it there.
All right, anyway. Well, everybody check out the episode.
The stuff that we said.
And also next week.
Yes.
It's happening.
Watch Mandalorian in preparation. If Weston or Mason dies by the hammer of Thor, I will do the podcast myself.
Yeah, in memoir.
And if they both die, though, I'm probably just going to do that 45-minute Gandalf as Jesus talk.
If Weston doesn't show up next week, then we will just phone him in. He'll be like cleaning pools and like fixing things and all this stuff, just hammering. I guess that's what you do when you work outside. When you
work on a pool, you use a lot of hammers.
Yeah, I did it for 18 years, but I don't even know anymore.
There's a lot of hammering involved in pool servicing.
I mean, I also do that with my computer sometimes because I get angry. No,
I feel that. I feel that in my bones.
All right, so anyway, next week, Mandalorian, check it out.
Yes.
See ya.
Until next time, I am Gandalf, and Gandalf is I.
Thanks again for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ban_cast. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Beyond Average Nerds. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And tune in every other Friday for new episodes.